G'day guys, thanks for joining me. In this video I'm going to give you a rundown of these two new products from Bluetti. This is the AC60 portable power station, and this is its companion B80 expansion battery that basically triples the amount of battery capacity that the AC60 has. Now, to give you a sense of how much that is, it's got 403 watt hours in here and 806 watt hours in here. Now, what's I suppose the most exciting feature of these products is that they have water resistance and dust resistance. They've got an IP65 rating. Now, IP65 means that they are shower proof and dust proof. So, you know, if it gets caught in the rain or it's sitting in the back of your 80 series Landcruiser like mine, which just sucks the dust in on a dirt road, or you've got a ute or something like that where your gear gets dusty, well, you no longer have to worry about dust getting into the electronics or moisture if it's caught out in the rain while you're out camping. Now, Bluetti's told me that this is the first system of anybody that's actually got IP65 rating. So I love the direction this is going. I certainly hope to see more products in this in the portable power station world coming out with an IP65 or better rating. So very, very good step forward in my mind. Now, most products you buy these days have a 1-year warranty, and you might get an extended 2 or 3 year warranty. These guys have a 6-year warranty, which is pretty crazy. Now, they use a lithium iron phosphate battery system, which is rated to 3,000 charge cycles and still giving you 80% capacity when you finish. So that means you can basically flatten it and recharge it 3,000 times, and you should still have 80% of the battery capacity left. Now, to give you some sense of what that means in the real world, you could basically flatten this and recharge it every single day for about 8 years, and still have 80% of the original capacity left. So you're going to get a lot of life out of it. That's the bottom line. Now, in terms of the actual construction, what I've noticed about these is they're quite substantial. They're about 9 kilos each. I think this one might be slightly heavier. I'll put the weight on the screen here. I'll weigh them and let you know for sure. They feel substantial. It's like there's no sort of cheap plasticness about it. They have a real definite meatiness about them. So they certainly feel heavy duty. They've got these rounded edges on them, so if they do get sort of knocked around in gear, they're not going to crack the edge. That's going to sort of help to absorb some of the shock if they do get bounced around, because let's be honest, when you're out sort of packing your gear in the back of the vehicle and you're heading down bumpy roads, the stuff jumps around a fair bit. So that should give them some sort of heavy dutiness. They've got sort of solid rubber feet on the bottom. And this one, here's something I found interesting. There's actually a light on the back. You turn that on. There we go. Pretty decent light there. 2 power settings. And an SOS as well by the looks of it. So if you get in trouble, you can send out a distress signal. They both have these handles which fold down flush into the case. See there? And they feel solid. This is the thing. A lot of these sort of products these days, they just feel a bit sort of flimsy, but this is really substantial. Like, there's no play at all in that handle. It is solid as. Same on this one. They're roughly about the same size. That actually can sit on top of like that, and that's how you see it in the photos on the website, just like that. Now, all of the controls are either on the front or the side. There's nothing on the back other than that light on the back. There's no controls on the back, so you can basically push it up against something and have it in a shelf in your camper trailer or in your caravan or something, and you're not going to have to get to the back to do anything. Obviously that light's on the back, but apart from that, there's nothing going on in the back. It's all happening on the sides. Now, these are the ports here where the B80 connects, and there's 2 of them, because you can actually have 2 B80s connected to this, which will give you 2016 watt hours of power. Because it's sort of a modular system, you can just take that unit, and if you're not just going away for a weekend and you don't need heaps of extra power, or you want to sort of spread your cash flow over a few purchases, you just buy this one to start with. Then you can add one of these when you need it, and then if you need more, you can just add another one. So it's not like you're sort of you have to go and spend a big chunk of money all up front to buy one big unit. You can actually build a system that you scale up over time, and then you can choose which bits you take on which trips, depending on how much power you need for a specific trip. The other thing I love about this system is that you can actually power stuff directly from the B80 as well. It's got DC out ports. It's got no AC ports because obviously the inverter, all the smarts and the electronics is in this one. This is just sort of a battery with some DC outs as well. You've got 2 USB ports, a USB-A and a USB-C. and you've got a 12 volt socket. So if you've got a 12 volt fridge, you know, you could potentially have this running in your fridge while this is over here doing everything else. So that just gives you more options, more flexibility. You know, if your fridge is not sort of near where you want to have this unit, well, you can just put that over there, you know, in the back of the trailer or whatever, and keep it going. So it's really giving you the flexibility to do things in different ways. I'll give you a tour of this. I'm going to just set my my GoPro up here so you can see a close-up. So on the front here, we'll just turn the screen on. Now you see what we see here is this is the power coming in. This is the total capacity, like the charge of the battery is currently at 100%, and that's the power going out. So at the moment nothing's coming in, nothing's coming out. It's at 100%. It is plugged into the AC power over here. So if it was less than 100%, you'd see some charging going on over here. Now you can see we've got two panels. This is the DC panel, and you turn it on and off with this button here, and now that's activated that panel. Now as a tip with any of these portable power stations, if you're not using anything, then you turn that off, because that way it's not going to sort of leak out any power while it's not doing anything. And the same with the AC port. You turn the AC on, now that's activated these two sockets here, two 230 volt sockets, and you can now basically plug things in, which we will do in a minute, don't worry. We'll turn that off. So that's what you can see on the front there. On the side, this is obviously the AC in where it's plugged into the mains, and this is the DC in. This is where you plug in your solar panels. You can charge it on up to 200 watts of solar panel charging, so that'd be like the Bluetti PV200 or the PV120, which is this one here. It's the smaller one. So you can plug this in straight into the side there and keep it topped up while you're at camp. And then we've got a fuse and an earth port there. So I'll just shut that so I don't forget. And on this side, these are the two inputs where you can plug in your B80 expansion battery. So what we'll do is we'll actually do that now so you can actually see how that works. So the B80 comes with the cable. This is the fat cable that does all the work. Now these are interesting. I've never seen a socket like this before, but they're pretty cool. They actually just click in. That's it there. You can see a close up of what's going on in there. If you can see it. So you just basically push it in. You just slide it in there and it clicks and locks. It locks shut now. And then to get it out, you just rotate it and pull it out. So it's quite a simple system, and it's very positive. It's not going to pull out by itself. So you're not accidentally going to rip that cable out if you move things around. And then on this side, same thing. Plugged into port one there. Now while that's plugged in, that's actually a waterproof connection there. There's an O-ring inside the port there, so it's maintaining its waterproofness even when it's connected like that. So now what's happening, stick this over here. Now you can see here that the B80 is now charging as well. So the way to recharge the B80 is through the AC60. You can charge it directly from the DC port, so you can plug a solar panel straight into it, or you can charge it from your 12 volts from your car while you're driving around. But if you want to charge it from an AC outlet, you charge it through the AC60. So the AC power is coming in from the mains. It's charging this. Well, this is already charged, so the power's then running out through the cable and into the B80. As far as ports go on the AC60, obviously we've got the two AC 240 volt outlets. I think they're actually 230 volt, but that'll still run any of your 240 volt appliances. So let's charge something. Let's get my laptop going in there. You see on here it's telling us 74%. Now that's 74% charged for both units together. It's like the combined total of both units, because that was at 100%, and this one is roughly, you can see it's a bit over, say, 60%. So collectively we're at about 74%. So it's like when you join them together, they become one sort of combined unit. Alright, so I've got my laptop plugged in. We'll turn the AC outlet on. That's now charging there. You see it's not drawing much, about 50, 60 watts. Now to give you an idea of the capacities, it's a 600 watt inverter. That means it'll basically run up to 600 watts continuously out of that AC port, out of those two AC ports. So that's the combined total of the both. Now that's not going to run bigger appliances like a microwave or an induction hot plate or a kettle or a toaster. You'll need a bigger system to do that, and there are bigger units than this. But it will run all of your sort of smaller stuff. It'll run smaller fridges. It'll recharge all your batteries and all your devices. It will run your lights. Now these are the Christmas lights that I put around the house at Christmas time. But imagine this is your camp lights, and you've got them stretched all around. It'll run those, and at the same time I can be charging my iPad through the DC port. Now it's got 2 USB-A's. Turn the DC on there. Alright, and that's now charging. Yep, that's going now. It's also got a charging pad on the top there, so I can be charging my phone. That's now charging. I can be recharging this light here. Now the USB-C port is 100 watts, and what that means is it's a high-powered port. And what that means is if you've got like a modern laptop that's got a USB-C charging port, I think they'll often draw up to about 50 or 60 watts. So you can charge that directly off that port there, which means you're using the DC current and not having to sort of get your power brick out and actually charge it to the AC. So that's a useful feature. So at the moment we've got 490 watts coming in, and that's combined with charging both of them. We're at a total capacity of 78%, and we've got 60-70 watts coming out. So you can get all the information you need from the little screen there. Obviously this one doesn't have the screen, the B80 doesn't have the screen, but it does have a series of LEDs here to show you how much the charge level is in the battery there. Unfortunately I don't have a fridge handy to plug into it. I'm between camping fridges at the moment. Our well-used CF80, our Waco CF80 fridge, which we've had for 17-18 years. It's just done an insane amount of work, but it's died of old age. It's just had it now, and so that's retired. And I haven't found another one yet. I haven't sort of actively gone out and sourced a new fridge, but it's on the to-do list. If I had one, obviously I could plug that in and show you how that works as well. Hopefully I'll have one before my next road trip, and we can actually see it out in the field doing its thing. Now, as far as recharging the system, AC is the fastest way. You've got solar powered. Now if you put a 200 watt panel on it, like the PV200 for example, with good solid sun, will recharge in around 3 hours. You can also charge from the cigarette lighter socket in your car, and that's about 100 watts output, so you're talking probably 6 or 7 hours. Now in an earlier video I installed a 1000 watt inverter in the back of my Landcruiser as a fast charging solution for these types of things. So instead of charging from the 12 volt cigarette lighter socket in the car, which is limited to 100 watts, I could charge through an AC inverter. So while I'm driving, the alternator's putting out a lot of voltage, I can convert some of that through the inverter into AC power and rapid, fast charge a battery system like this in the back. All right guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. This is, as I said before, this is just a quick video just to introduce you to these products. They're very new to me, just arrived here in the last couple of days. We've got several Bluetti videos now, Bluetti products. We've got the EB3A, which is this one here. It's like the little brother of the AC60. It's not weatherproof. But it's a good entry level if you're just looking for something that's going to take care of all your basic simple charging needs. Also, the PV120 solar panel is a pretty good entry level solar panel that will charge any of these devices. However, I would recommend the PV200. It's a little bit more of an investment, but it's quite a lot more power, and it will also charge any of these devices but faster. There's links to all this stuff in the description below. They are affiliate links, so if you click through and make a purchase, we'll get a little bit of a commission, which is very much appreciated. It helps to keep this channel going, helps us to make more content. Give this video a like if this has helped you at all, and if you want to see more from us, hit the subscribe button. But otherwise, thanks for joining us, and I'll see you again very soon.